Hope you're doing great. In this tutorial, we're going to talk on some built-in types you might encounter when using Dart. So first, we'll talk about numbers, and numbers in Dart come in two flavors. You have int and you have double. Now, double deals with decimals, while integers are numbers without a decimal point. So you have 1 for integer. For double, you have 9.9, 3.142, and things that generally are decimals. Yeah, that's what you do with double. Now you have hexadecimal values, which you can also assign in Dart. So I'm sure you remember your hexadecimal symbols, right? What we're going to do here is that we create a variable and assign a hexadecimal value to it. So we'll call the variable hex and we assign this a value, and then we'll print it. Now the value of this hexadecimal is quite lengthy, so let's print this, and there we have our value. So you could do that also. Now when you assign a value 100.1 to students, and then you decide to assign students to an integer, that won't work. Like in our former video, 100.1 is different from 1. The first is a double, second is an integer. This is the only way you can do that. If you decide to make students 100, you've decided to make it an integer. Therefore, you can't assign it 1.3. So, like I said in the first video, if you wanted to do that, then you make it dynamic. Now, you could also convert values. Let's say you have a string 40 and you want to convert this to an integer. You get to have cases like this when you want to convert a string to an integer. So someone gave you his age in an integer, in a string form, let's say 40. So we create a variable. We call the variable integer age. So what we want to do is to convert 40 to an integer. So we can assign age to integer age because age is a string. So what we do is int.pass, and in the bracket we pass the string into that bracket, and it gets converted, it returns an integer. So we can now print integer age, and what we see printed is actually the integer 40. We could also do this with double, right? So perhaps you have a double, you can convert it, let's say 40.4. Now you get an issue because you're trying to convert 40.4 to an integer. So that's Lindsay Sterling. Yeah, you can try and listen to her. She has good music. So now you can turn this to a double, right? Because you're trying to convert 40.4 to a double. That's a double, so you don't convert it to a string. So what we do here is convert this type to double, and instead of int.pass, what we do is double.pass. Double. I'm playing too much. So that's that for conversion. Now let's rename this to something else. Instead of integer age, we could name it double age. Yes, I love this IDE, IntelliJ. So next, we still have things we can do when we want to convert. We can do a lot of conversion in Dart, but I'm going to show you just some examples. So let's say we have a string, we call that variable age, and then we have another variable called age decimal, right? Now, we can convert this decimal to string. Now, this is converting an integer to a string. Before, we converted a string to an integer. But if you want to convert an integer to string, you use that to string. So let's say you even want to convert pi. Now, we could also convert this to string, this double, right? Let's just make it var, since we know it's a double already. So we say par.string, right? That gives us our value. But once we name that value instead of age, right? Because your age is not 3.142. So what if you want to approximate it? Yeah, this text is too long, right? By the way, I know that is not the value for pi. I'm just using it for example. Now we can say pi.toString as fixed. Now I give it 2. That means we stop at 3.14, right? I think you did math, so you get what that is. So if I did as fixed 1, it would just be 3.1. As fixed 3, yep, so you get that. So next, we're going to see how we're going to have strings in that. Now, strings in that are quite interesting. So I'm going to show you some interesting things. So perhaps I want to print Daniel is very nice. But let's say I want to change this text Daniel. I don't need to come here every time. I just assign it to a variable. And to do that, I put a $sign and then write the variable, the name of the variable behind the $sign. So anytime I change the value of the variable, it changes automatically. So to do that in a string, you put the $sign and the name of the variable. So we could also do some operations in strings. Yes, this is very similar to Kotlin if you've used Kotlin. Now to do an operation, instead of just doing a $sign, you do a $sign and then 2 curly brackets, right? Then you can perform your operation inside. I wonder why they made it a $sign. It could have been maybe pounds or naira. So if I do this, it says 2 is a number, right? Multiple of, but I want to times it, right? So I put multiple of inside these curly braces and times it times 2. So once I print that, it shows 4 is a number. So it actually does this calculation in the string. Now that is quite beautiful. So we can format strings in that also. So let's give an example now. If you want to concatenate strings in I wanted to say Kotlin in Dart, you could do using the plus sign. So I can say Lemubit plus Obunde, and you print the name. By the way, that's my name. And yes, you get that. Or let's give a little space here. So we'll print that and you see it. But we don't actually need the plus sign. We can remove it. Adjacent strings in that are automatically concatenated. But what if I wanted a multi-line string? Because even if you give this space, they still print in one line. What if I actually wanted a multi-line text? What you do is that you surround the text with a triple quotation, right? So that is 1, 2, 3 in the first and 1, 2, 3 in the right. So I can do this now and demonstrate it for you. So on top I say Lemubit is top and under Obunde is after. So once we do this, you can see now that it actually prints it the way we're saying it, right? That is multi-line. That is how you do that. You can do it with double quotation or single quotation, whichever you like. I mean, it gives you options, right? And I know we all like options, right? We love options. I really love options. I love options, and I know you like options. Options are good for your life. So now you know /n actually is for next line. That is, if you see Lemubit Academy, like Lemubit the next line Academy. So that's what /n means. It means go to the next line. Now if you want to print a text as it is, you put R in front of it. That prints it raw. That means don't format it, just print as you see. You hear me? Print as you see. Now Dart also has Boolean variables, right? So Boolean are things that are true or false, right? Like, do you like this thing? True or false? So you can have a value of true or false. You can assign it to like an integer too. No. So you assign it true or false. And these are very useful, especially when you're doing conditional statements like if statements. We would still treat if statements in future tutorials, but yeah, this is what Booleans are in that. You will use them often. So having seen all this, right, I guess you're ready for some Q&As. Yes. And let's start our Q&As, right? So we start with our first question. What question should I give you, right? No, so let's say we have a variable, right? And we call this 3.142 pi. Now, and this pie, very sweet pie like this, it's a tasty pie. I decide that I want to print out just one decimal of this pie. That is 3.1. What should I do? How do I go about it? I just want one decimal place. I don't want 3.142. How do I approximate that in a string? So I convert it to a string and approximate. So I showed you how to do that earlier. So this is the answer. You convert it to string, yes, but you do to string as fixed, right? Yeah, no, to string as fixed, and I make it 1. So it's going to print out 3.1. Did you get it? So our next question. Perhaps I have an age, assign it a value of 4. A value of 4. Now, and this age of 18, right? And I want to use this age and say he is blah 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 blah. This is a string. So what I want you to do is, if I am to print string rep, what will be the output? So this string, if I'm to print it, what is going to be the output? So tell me now. Now it's a little bit tricky, but what will be the output of this? So let's see what the output is going to be when I print string rep. Because of that string R in front, it actually prints it as you see it. It doesn't replace age, it is age. If I remove that R, then you can say, okay, he is 4 years old. But because of that R, it prints it as a raw string. very raw. Raw. That was not nice.